So here's a try of the two solution case. In the two solution case right here, you've got an angle A, which is 20.5 degrees. I'll draw a picture and then I'm going to actually just provide the answers. And in this two solution case, you found that you could have side A swinging in, which I'll call A1, or you could have side A swinging out, which I'll call A2, which means point B could be B1 or it could be B2. But point C is going to be right there. However, point C is going to have two different angles associated with it. It will have C1 or it will have C2. So my first triangle, the first triangle that I was able to find happened to be B2 and C2. So I'm going to label those two here. So I got 20.5 degrees, which was given, 31 was given, and 12 was given, and B2 was 64.8 degrees, C2 was 94.7 degrees, and C2 side C2 is 34.1. The biggest side is across from the biggest angle. The smallest side is across from the smallest angle. I also got a second solution. I'm going to write it over here, but then I'm going to move it. The second solution actually corresponds to subscript B1 and C1 in the drawing that I made up above. So that's how I'm going to label it. A was still 20.5 degrees. However, B1 becomes the biggest angle here now. So B1 now is this obtuse angle, which is 115.2 degrees, making 31 the biggest side. C1 now becomes 94.7 degrees. I'm sorry, 44.3 degrees. I was going to say that's a big angle. That doesn't work. You go over 180 degrees. 44.3 degrees, and then side C1 across from the 44.3 degrees is 23.9. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to resize it, make it a little smaller. This way I can take this one, move it, resize it, and I'm going to box my two answers in two different colors. So there's the first solution, and here is the second solution. So there's our two solutions. Here's another try, this one with some bigger decimals. So those of you that are getting really good with your calculator, you're going to hit pause, you're going to try this one, and I'm going to write down the answers. So one triangle one triangle is 53.23 degrees approximately. Actually, let me do that in color so that you know which part was the part that so let's do this in color. I got 53.323 degrees, 87.09 degrees, and 37.16 yards. For the second triangle, notice how B is still 39.68 degrees. It doesn't have a subscript because it doesn't change. It's fixed because it's part of the given information. So the second triangle, we get 126.77 degrees, 13.55 degrees, and 8.72. Now, you got to cut yourself some slack, and you got to give yourself an opportunity here. So if you're not getting this, you have to be realistic with yourself. This is a tough concept. So if you haven't gotten it, how many times did you watch the video that explains it? It's a tough idea. It may take several times of you watching it. It may take several times of you watching it, and it's really important that you do that you take the time to do that. Otherwise, you don't understand the concept. And that's going to happen in life. Sometimes you're going to need things explained 2-3 times until you get it, until you understand it. And if you're going to go to college, there are going to be many times where there are things that you are completely not interested in, but you have to learn. You have to learn. So you're not intrinsically, saying, I am enjoying this, I like it, but you have to learn it. This might be one of those cases. Some of you, this is going to come easily. But for the majority of students, it's going to take some effort for you to really grasp what's happening here. And the beauty is you can have it explained to you several times. If you don't get it the first time, don't just blame the video and say, I don't get it from that video. Look within. Look within and say, maybe I didn't get it the first time with that video. I need to slow myself down, slow the video down, and make sure I understand every sentence that's being said. When a sentence is said that I don't understand, let me go back, rewind, and listen to it again and see if I understand what that means. Okay? So don't blame and say, okay, well, it's a cruddy video, it's not explaining. Because the video that I provided that is going to explain this ambiguous case with 2 solutions is really the best explanation. It provides it visually, and it provides a mathematical explanation. So you pick whichever one works for you, but he's going to describe 2, and he's going to show you why the visual works. He's going to show you why the math, why that algebra works. You just got to take the time, invest the time, into learning, because knowledge is power.